Kudlow thinks that Trump is not getting a clear shake with his distressed face and his buddy who borrowed half of Matt Gaetz's forehead for the trial. This is Kudlow. Kudlow is here. Bringing it to yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, the Rat Pack of member of Fox Business.
Let's bring in Larry Kudlow.
Let's bring in Larry. Thanks for calling me in here, Stewart.
Obvious question, Larry. I know you've got a strong answer.
Oh, yes. It might be a little slurred, but it'll be very strong.
Is Trump getting a fair shake in New York City?
I don't. It depends on who's holding his dick. I'm going with Haba.
No, he's clearly not. I mean, you've got a socialist state attorney general who...
A socialist state attorney general who, again, why, if she's a socialist state attorney general, why go after one particular bad businessman if you think all business is bad?
Actually ran against Trump. That was...
Right, and won because everybody hates him. Again, this is the dumbest fucking
her whole
defense.
Campaign, which I guess in New York is enough to have a victory.
Ah, there. Look who finally admitted it. A drunken clock is right twice a day.
And then you've got a judge. I don't understand.
Why are you yelling, Larry?
I understand the judge. He's either crazy or he's a left-wing judge. But
he's left-wing like a fox.
Here's the problem.
Okay, give me the problem.
Here's the biggest problem.
Okay, the biggest problem. Give me any of the problems would be fine. I just need a problem just to get started.
You talk to any real estate person.
Any of them. Armando Montalongo, the lovely couple from Magnolia, or any of the HGTV guys, especially the one with the tattoos on his neck, the gay dude who's awesome. Boy.
And they will tell you, with respect to the value of Mar-a-Lago, which is
pronounced Mar-a-Lago, not Mar-a-Lago.
One of the key points to this whole...
It's the whole thing, because you guys fixate on that one, because the rest of them obviously aren't valued anywhere near this.
Shenanigans in court.
Israel shenanigans.
The tax assessment by the county is far, far different than a market assessment of value. In other
that's right.
In other words, it's county assessor's value versus the market value.
Right, and all Trump has to do is bring in one person who will say under oath that they would, given half a chance, they would pay $1.5 billion for Mar-a-Lago, and he's scot-free at that point.
And you've got, by the way, the New York Sun running terrific articles about that, talking to real estate.
Yeah, if you've won the Sun, you've got all the papers. I mean, the New York Sun, that's, since the Inquirer's out of the question, I guess.
People down in South Florida actually talking to the county assessor's office. They say the same thing, that the number of $18 million value for Mar-a-Lago is not meant for any financing value or any real estate market value. It's simply the way they go about assessing tax value or tax liabilities.
Which I would say, stop. Ice is back with a brand new edition. Sorry, I just got Vanilla Ice stuck in my head for one split second. It's an I Love the 90s thing. Let's just start there. Let's just start with the fact that this motherfucker can have a property that he says is worth $1.5 billion fucking dollars, and he can get a tax assessment for 18. How about that? 1/100th of the alleged value of the property is what he's paying taxes on. How many of you have a home where your taxes on your house are 1/100th of its overall value, or its valuation for tax purposes? Never mind the fact you're not paying 100% of its tax evaluation, you're paying a percentage of that tax evaluation. Right? How are you out of your fucking mind? How about that? Why isn't that a bigger fucking stink? No. Larry, accidentally, you have brought up an excellent fucking point. That the taxes that rich people pay on these kind of properties are minuscule compared to what the average person pays on their fucking house. We don't pay, in my little house right here, we don't pay we don't pay a tax bill based on the assessment of 1/100th of the price of the fucking house. Whatever the house is assessed at, we pay a tax based on that. Why is this asshole paying, I guess, 10% of 1/100th of its fucking worth? Here's a good idea. And boy, would this bring down the price of these giant fucking properties real goddamn quick. How about you pay taxes based on the market evaluation of what you could sell your house for? If indeed you sell it, or some variance therein as it grows over time. Especially if it's an event space past a certain point. If it's anything beyond a single family home. Even fucking, again, even if you're paying 1/100th of the actual price that you're saying it's worth when you argue any price you argue it's worth for the sake of getting a loan. How about that? Not what you can sell it for, because that's debatable. But let's say, like Trump, you go and you say, this is what it's worth, and I want a loan for, $100 million because it's worth 400. Okay, well, that's fine, but you have to pay taxes on 400 million because that is your admitted amount that you believe it's worth. That's what you will part with to sell the property. That's your expected return if you sell it. Right, that was $10,000, $13,000 a year. Exactly. This motherfucker's paying a similar number. Right? Jesus. The fact that that they're openly admitting that the evaluation that he gets on taxes on his properties is fucking microscopic compared to what the average person pays for a much smaller property. As far as percentage of net worth, percentage of value. And if this motherfucker's saying I could one day sell it for 1.5 billion and it only cost me 5 or 8 when I initially bought it, I got news for you, man. There's a lot of room between 1.5 billion and 8 that you could pay taxes over the time you hold that property until you fucking sell it.
So this judge has to know that.
No.
If he doesn't know that, he should know that. And if he should know that, all he has to do is make phone calls and dismiss the entire case. There's no there. And, violations of the 14th Amendment, where you take away life, liberty, and property, those should be very hard come by in the U.S. system.
Yeah, except he doesn't own these things. Stupid. That's the problem with it, is that corporate entities that Donald Trump is signatory to own all of his properties. And if those businesses are engaged in criminality, businesses do not have the right to property the way individuals do. It's different. It's way easier to take property away from a business than it is to take it away from a person individually. And the fact is that Trump puts all of his properties in these LLCs and under these protective trust envelopes so that he doesn't have to pay the amount of taxes he would normally have to pay. So that he can write them off. He can, effectively make them just debt on paper as far as he's concerned, or assets if he needs them to be. It's one of the reasons why he doesn't own a fucking house. Why didn't Trump buy a house? Why does Trump, stay at Mar-a-Lago all you fucking want, but why didn't Trump buy a house? If he's a billionaire and he's got all this fucking money and he wants to live in West Palm, why is there not a Trump mansion anywhere? Why does he live in the fucking like one of the apartments at the fucking club, and he's not supposed to, like, I don't know, half the year, because he legally can't have a permanent residence there.
Some local judge should not have the authority to blow up your business, because here too, like
They don't. He doesn't have the ability to blow up your business. He has the ability to stop you doing business in their state. You can refile in Delaware or fucking Nevada or in Florida or wherever everybody else doesn't mind being defrauded and bullshitted. As a matter of fact, like I said, the majority of Trump's LLCs are incorporated in Delaware anyways. Some of them are here in Nevada. The business was set up in New York by his fucking father, and all he's done is bleed it to death. Well, that doesn't sound pleasant.
in so many of these cases with Trump, Stu, it could happen to you.
No. It could happen to you, Stu, if you're drunk and what you do. All right.
It could happen to me. It could happen to anybody.
No, you kind of have to be engaged in the same level of criminality that he's engaged in. And by the way, most of the time when people do shit like this, it does happen to them. Trump has been able to dodge it for fucking decades. For no other reason than that he's fucking famous and he scared some politicians or he was buddies with them like Rudy Giuliani.
People should think about that.
I need to change the subject and talk about Matt
Think about something.
Gates trying to oust Speaker McCarthy. What do you think of that?
Yes, tell us what you think about that, because we're going to see.
My initial reaction is it won't succeed. But I don't know yet. There's a lot of permutations and combinations here.
Yeah, there's a problem. All the finagle and the contrifibulator often will click into the flagellization of a circumstance wherein, you know, Jesus God, this is how they eat.
There's a lot of insider stuff that we don't know about.
There's just no way for a win for Republicans. There's no win for Republicans here.
Sorry, I might need to listen to that again because it's making my nipples hard. Sorry, what was that, Stu? You say that again?
There's just no way for a win for Republicans. There's no win for Republicans here.
That's one more time, if you don't mind.
There's just no way for a win for Republicans. There's no win for Republicans here.
Yeah, that's what I thought you said. That's right. I really, that's some good stuff. I agree. But there's another way of putting it. They're all a bunch of fucking losers. I think it's the way I would put it.
I just don't see it.
Well, look, I agree with that. I mean, I totally agree with that.
I agree. Then I'll have another vodka stinger.
I think personally, Kevin McCarthy has done a fine job.
Yep.
He's only got a 4-vote
Yep.
majority. It's very difficult.
Poor guy. I hope he makes it. I don't know. The future's a little shaky, but I don't know. This was 6 hours before it happened.
I think he's doing the best he can to get the spending cuts that he forced the White House into and to put regular budget order so you'll have 12 appropriation bills. You know, I don't agree with Mr. Gates at all.
Really? At all?
I don't think inside the Republican conference there's much support for Mr. Gates.
Well, as it would turn out,
there might be a couple of people. Most people are saying this will not succeed. But, you know, this is very difficult because you're talking about deep inside the Republican conference. So we'll have
deep undercover.
River.
That's right. How deep?
Drop your shorts and bend over, Mr. Babar.
That's right.
To see how it plays out. I think, again, I want to say McCarthy has done a very, very good job.
Very good job. And he'll be great in his new job at Fox News as the most soft-spoken commentator. It's available to come on Fox and Friends and tell little stories about his short time as Speaker.
Getting a conservative agenda, including, Stu, not just the budget stuff, but closing the border is very important.
Yeah, he did not close the border, just saying.
And also raising questions about Ukraine funding. If there's any increase in Ukraine funding, it should be tied to diplomatic initiatives to try to put an end.
Fuck you. No. If we're going to stop this rape from happening, she at least has to talk about the possibility of her marrying her rapist. If she's not willing to discuss marrying her rapist, I don't know why we're trying to interrupt the rape. Fuck you, Larry Kudlow. No, 100% no.
To this war. Thus far, the Biden White House apparently has done nothing on the diplomatic front. They're always a day late and a dollar short.
By the way, this asshole is missing the Russian funding that went to the Republicans. That's what he's pissed about. He knows it's not coming back.
This crowd, and it gets us into more and more trouble.
Why are we in trouble? Why? Honest to God, like the amount of money we're giving to Ukraine is a pittance in terms of what goes into our regular budget when we're not even in a war, and it will be paid back. It's less than what we paid out in Afghanistan while Trump was president.
Larry Kudlow, strong opinions, and I agree with them all. Thanks very much.
Well, of course, or you wouldn't have him on, because that's what kind of dough-headed, silly fuck you are. Jesus Christ. I don't even fully agree with my guests, and I love them.